We just got the first teaser trailer for the Fantastic Four, The First Steps, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this movie absolutely looks amazing, or should I say fantastic. There's so much to talk about. We gotta get into all the best and worst parts of the trailer, all the details, and so much more. Let's just first go over all the different members of the Fantastic Four, now that we've finally seen them in action, starting off with The Thing, because this is the most controversial one. I actually think the design looks pretty good, but you can clearly tell the CGI is not finished, which is to be expected. The movie's still like 5 months away from releasing. The thing that's kind of bothering me about this character so far is that Eben didn't seem to change his voice at all for this character, which I'm sure obviously the director told him to keep your voice the same. I'll put in a clip in a second. In my opinion, it just sounds way too regular, and I feel like it should have been deeper, like not full Hulk voice, but a little bit more gravitas behind it. Like I should not have a deeper voice in The Thing.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what?
So like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but let's move on to Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. This gets an A++. This looks incredible. The power-up scenes were also incredible. Him flying around, probably chasing the Silver Surfer, but they cut that out. I know this is like MCU team-up brain rot affecting me right now, but I personally would really like to see this version of Johnny Storm with Spider-Man in the future. They just seem like perfect fits for each other. We also got to see Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, and I think she and Pedro as Reed Richards look like a great couple. Like they look like a realistic couple. Got to see her powers. They don't look the greatest in the couple scenes that we saw, but again, the CGI and all the effects probably aren't fully finished, and otherwise it seems like she's going to be great as this role, and she seems to really be caring for the character. Pedro Pascal, obviously as Reed Richards, is kind of controversial. People are saying, oh, maybe he's too old or that he just doesn't look like Reed. I personally think he's going to be great. We didn't really see any of his powers in the trailer, so again, I think this is probably a product of the visual effects not being done yet. His are probably the most complicated to do. They're probably in a stage where they don't really look that good right now, so they're gonna save that for the next trailer that comes out probably closer to the springtime, April or May, and then we'll finally get to see what his powers are gonna look like. Then we get to see Galactus with the Statue of Liberty right here, and then his shadow just looming over New York City. This looks incredible. Again, this is not our New York, this is a completely different one, so there's a pretty good chance that this thing just gets absolutely wiped off the face of the planet. Moving on, I quickly want to go over the official synopsis because there's not much here that's not like just super generic superhero movie talk, but there is one key sentence that I feel like people are skipping over that kind of reveals a huge character I think is going to show up in the movie. It says, set against a vibrant backdrop of a 1960s inspired retro-futuristic world, Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps introduces Marvel's first family, Reed Richards, obviously Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm / The Thing, as they face their most daunting challenge yet. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, they must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus, and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer, who's played by Julia Garner. Again, we did not see her in this first teaser trailer. And if Galactus' plan to devour the entire planet and everyone on it wasn't bad enough, it suddenly gets very personal. This is the part that I think is the key. We already know it's going to be personal if they attack any of the Fantastic Four, so what else could this mean and why did they put it in there? I think we're going to see either one or both of Sue Storm and Reed Richards' kids, probably most likely Frank Richards. There was rumors months ago before we had any official teaser or anything saying that they were casting for Franklin Richards, and it was from a pretty unreputable source, honestly. But with this final line, I do think they're going to end up popping up in this new movie and maybe eventually teaming up with like the new Avengers, however they end up doing that. Like I said, we have to remember the key thing is that this is set in a completely different universe, so this entire universe could just be devoured by Galactus at the end of the film or something to set up Avengers Doomsday. It's going to be crazy to see how they do that. We know we're probably going to get a Doom post-credit scene at least, so it's going to be crazy consequences for the next Avengers movies. We also really need to talk about the overall just aesthetics and visuals of this movie, because I'm not going to lie, this is one of the best looking MCU movies visually I've seen in a long time. Like I said, outside of a few things like the Thing's CGI, I know it's kind of like half practical, but there's still effects being put on them obviously that look unfinished. But like the world itself does just feel so unique. It truly feels like we're in a different universe, which is good because we are. I love the retro vibe. It seems like they're going so heavy into this. The score sounds super retro and futuristic at the same time. Like they are nailing this aesthetic. Like I love just everything about this. We got a first look at the Fantastic car. It looks absolutely incredible. We also got to look at the suits. I love how just bright and vibrant this movie is. Like everything about it just has so much character. Just like the overall look of the film, like there's actual color grading going on. It actually has like a distinctive style. This is what we need more of in MCU properties. Like I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it's super funny, but the movie does look very dull and gray visually. Even when it's shot on a real location, it kind of looks like it's actually just a bad green screen just because the film just looks so bland, like an Apple iPhone commercial. Gradually utilizing lighting and color grading in it looks incredible. Like, I've been rewatching the first season of Daredevil. Obviously the story and characters are incredible, but honestly the atmosphere that they build up and how Hell's Kitchen looks visually is like as much as a character as the rest of the people in it, because it's so distinctive. I don't want to get my hopes up too high and glaze this movie too hard, but from what we've seen, it looks absolutely incredible. It works perfectly as a teaser. It doesn't reveal any greater story. Like I said, we still haven't really seen Galactus fully. We haven't seen the Silver Surfer or Reed Richards using his powers. It's definitely going to be a good summer for us superhero movie fans. In July, we have this and Superman coming out in the same month. That's going to be crazy. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and sub on the video and tap above my head to watch a video where I go over everything that could go wrong in the Fantastic Four: The First Steps.